What's going on, guys? Sorry I haven't been posting much. Been crazy busy, especially the past couple days. My birthday was on the 4th of July. Yep. We turned the big 52. Feeling good though, feeling good. But anyway, before we get into the bars are all done. Let me tell you something. I can't wait to show you guys. Absolutely amazing. I love it. Love how it looks. I love how it feels. Before we get into this video, I just want to give a shout out to my sponsor, Rickrack. This is the luggage system we're going to be using for the trip. So a lot of you guys have been asking for a packing video. I am going to do a packing video, but we're only 2 weeks away from our huge cross-country trip. So I'm actually going to be putting together kind of a list exactly what I need because I don't want to forget anything because we're not going to be going away for 2, 3, 4 days. This is going to be a long trip, probably almost a month and probably about 10,000 miles. So it's going to be a long trip. We have to definitely be prepared for the trip. So I will give you guys a packing video because a lot of you guys have requested that. This video, I want to show you guys what I'm going to be using for my trip. There's a couple Rickrack products that I'm going to be primarily using for my cross-country trip. So the first thing is I'm going to be taking off my docking hardware, okay? And then to use the Rickrack luggage combo, good old Harley rack, Rickrack has them on their website. And some of you guys were asking me actually how big it is. Will my rack work? Well, let me tell you, from front rail to back rail, I'm measuring kind of center of the tube to center of the back tube. It is 12 inches. So if you have a rack from tube to tube, 12 inches on center, it should work. So you might not have to pick one up. So check, if your rack is 12 inches, then this Rickrack setup will work. So a couple things I love about this bag, and that's why, we partnered with Rickrack, because in my experience, the past couple trips I've been doing using the Rickrack, especially this trip, going in and out of probably, I'm gonna say, we're gonna stay in Milwaukee for a couple days, but we're probably gonna be going in and out of like 20, 25 hotels, like almost every single day. So it kind of gets annoying when you have to strap everything onto the bike with multiple bags and bungee cords and cargo bungees. It's just, it was a pain in the neck for me, and that's why I chose to go with this system. I've seen a lot of people using this system, and personally, I think it's the best. So not only is it like a luggage that you could take onto an airplane, it has the handle, it has wheels. So as soon as I pop this bag off of the bike, literally in 2 seconds, which I'll show you guys, I pop the bag off of the bike, I bring up my handle, and I'm off to the races inside the hotel room. That's how easy it is. And it has so much room, it's gonna give me enough room for the entire trip. But this bag, this is how easy it mounts. It just has two almost like hooks that mount in to the front of the tube. And then on the back right here, you have two clamps. It sets right on top of the tube. And then all you do is tighten those clamps down and you are good to go. And then for extra protection, I have a lock right here. What I do is with that lock, I run it through, up and over the tube and lock it right onto the Rickrack, the actual frame. So it will never, ever come off my bike. So a couple things I like about this bag. Obviously, I showed you guys how easy it is to put on and take off. Let me show you how easy it is to take off. You literally undo the two clamps, you lift it up, you're up, and you're done. You lift up the handle, and you're inside, rolling your bag inside the hotel. That's how simple it is. And that's why I like it. Like, I used to do that. I used to be the guy that takes 2 bags on a long trip, especially last, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago to Sturgis. I had a bag on the back of the cargo rack. I had a bag on the front, on top of the passenger seat. Everything was strapped down. Literally, there was like, I don't know, 6 bungees, 7, 8 bungees. It was just a pain in the neck. There's really no mounting points. You guys know on these bikes, it's kind of a little bit of a pain in the neck. Yeah, you could get by with some bungees, but there's really no good mounting points. You're always worried about a bungee letting loose. This thing isn't going anywhere. So obviously this thing is expandable. The bag is huge. Right now I don't have it expanded, but it is huge. I'm gonna have plenty of room, and I'll show you guys in that packing video before I leave, because I'm actually going to start packing probably in the next couple days, because I don't want to do it last minute. I don't want to forget anything. There's a pouch in the front that you could use right here. There's also one on the right side, and there's also one in the front, a large pouch. So you have plenty of storage, and like I said, this also expands probably another 2-3 inches to get that high. Will I need it? I'm not sure. I do want to pack lightly. I'm probably going to take minimal clothing, minimal items to keep obviously the entire bike as light as possible. But I definitely want to make sure that I have everything I need for the long trip, just in case of an emergency, because obviously we'll be away for a while. So some of you guys were asking, is this waterproof? It isn't per se waterproof, but I did come on that trip to Maine when we were coming back. We probably rode through 300 miles of pouring rain, and because you're riding, the bag was absolutely dry. So what I'll tell you is, if you're rolling, you're okay. I wouldn't like park the bike while it's pouring and just let the rain hit this and soak into it. But it has a pretty good, I would say, water repellent material that if you're rolling, the bag, after riding through that 300 miles of rain, it was absolutely dry. But the bag comes right here with a rain cover that I did use. I forgot on what trip, but I used it, and it works great. And they have obviously a lot of straps that you can mount it up underneath the cargo rack to keep everything dry and everything secure. The other thing I'm going to be using is a Rickrack saddlebag bag. So I think I'm going to carry probably like some extra clothes. I'm not sure yet, but I'm definitely going to be using this in the right saddlebag. The left one I'm going to be using kind of for stuff I need when I pull the bike over, I stop for a break, and I have everything on the left that I need. The right side is going to be where the bag is going to go, and this bag, it just slides, boom, right in there, and you close it, and when you get to the hotel, I could just grab the straps, and I'll have 2 little bags. That's what I'm going to be using, and the luggage rack combo. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to be carrying in this one yet. I still have to figure it out, because not too often does one go on almost a month-long trip on a bike. So it's going to definitely be an experience. It's going to be a learning experience, and I can't wait to come back with the great footage and obviously have a lot more information to tell you guys how things went, what I should have did, what I should have not did, and so forth. So the last thing I wanted to talk to you guys, because this has been commented a lot in the comments section, what mounts do you use? I'll show you guys my phone mount, but the comment I got a lot, and I mean a lot, because as I'm moto vlogging, you guys could see like the camera setup that I have and stuff like that. Let me go grab that. Let me see, where is it? So this way, if anybody wants to record their footage on a trip, this is kind of the way I do it. I've been doing this for 4 years, and I've done it 10 different ways, and I realized that this is the best way and the easiest way. So before, I was using almost like, this is not ram mount, but it's like aftermarket. If you guys could see, this would clamp on the bars, and then this is really long, and then I would have right here at the end, it's a Ulanzi quick disconnect. So I would attach my GoPro to here. You could get this at GoPro. I'll leave you guys links down below in the description so you guys could get all these if you're interested. I will have all the links also to all the products for everything I'm doing here for Rickrack, and also for the thrashing stuff which you're gonna wanna see in a second. This thing looks awesome, man. So this is a Ulanzi quick disconnect right here. So you see, I just hook it on there, turn it, disconnect. It's a magnet and then it locks. So basically what I do, if I'm riding and I wanna record, I click the top of the GoPro on, I grab it, and now I'm recording as I'm riding. That's how I'm getting those shots. It's super easy. It's the safest way. You don't want to be fumbling with a camera when you have to go grab the brake. And I only do it in areas where I know it's open and it's safe and I have time if I need to stop. You don't want to be doing this in traffic if you're not experienced. And then when I'm done, I lock the camera back on, shut it off, and that's it. This is the only problem with this. You see how long this is? So that's what I realized. I didn't like that setup too much. So this setup, Rickrack actually has, and I like it. I'll tell you why. There's a lot of reasons why, but there's a lot of pieces in here that you could use for your entire bike. So like they have the stud that goes by the brake caliper. You could mount a camera by your front brake to kind of get a different angle. There's a whole bunch of different clamps and attachments that you could use. But what I'm gonna be using, you could buy actually this whole set from Rickrack, and it's very inexpensive, but the good thing about it is you basically will have all the pieces you need to, if you wanna, vlog your trip. So now, this is the piece I'm going to use now. Let me just take this off and put this one on. And I'll show you guys how this works and how much smaller it is. And that's why I'm gonna be using this, because I don't like big bulky things. If I could minimize stuff, that's what I wanna do. So you see the difference. This is from Rickrack. You have the clamp, you have like the ball mount right there, and then I have the Ulanzi quick disconnect. Look at the size difference. Do you see what I mean? So in order to articulate this one, you gotta loosen this, and then it still doesn't go all the way because these plastic pieces prevent you from doing that. Whereas the Rickrack one, it actually is almost like a ball in a socket, and it goes like almost 360 degrees. Works really well. But this is, like I said, this is why I like it. Look at the size difference. So I'll show you, I don't wanna show you the bars yet, but if you guys are interested, that's how you guys been asking me, that's how I mount and am going to mount my cameras to the bike. And then this clamps to the bike, and then I'll have my camera locked in like that, and it's much shorter because the last one I was using, it just really stuck out a lot, and what was happening actually was because it was longer, it was blocking my screen. All right, guys, we're gonna be going out into the garage in just a couple minutes. It's already 90 damn degrees outside, super humid. But I did wanted to tell you, because we're gonna be leaving, what I'm gonna be doing is 3 dealer stops before we get to Milwaukee. So July 23rd, I will be at Steel City Harley-Davidson in Pennsylvania between the hours of 4 and 6 p.m. And then July 24th, I will be at Fort Wayne Harley-Davidson in Indiana between 4 and 6 p.m. And then July 25th, I will be at Chi-Town Harley-Davidson in Illinois between 1 and 3 p.m. And then we're leaving straight from there, straight to Milwaukee. So those 3 dealer stops, we're gonna be doing meet and greets. Me, Sandy, and Danny are gonna be there. It's gonna be an awesome time. Hope you guys could come by and say hi at least. Hopefully I see you guys there. And don't forget, homecoming is going to be from the 25th all the way to the 28th of July. The 27th, myself and a whole bunch of other awesome content creators are gonna have a mass meet and greet. It's gonna be held at Veteran Park between 2 and 4 p.m. I'm gonna put down all the times underneath. Hopefully you guys could come out to one of the events or to one of the dealer stops. I would really love to see you guys. But that's it on that. Let's get into this video. Let me show you guys how I installed the bars. It was super, super simple. And then we're gonna hop on the bike. I'll show you guys how the bike looks, because let me tell you, I'm in love with how this bike came out. Here we go. Why am I in the garage? Why is the air conditioner on? That's why. Inside the garage is 80 degrees. It feels cool, but outside is a whopping 104 degrees. It's just absolutely insanely hot outside. Humidity is just ridiculous. But finally, the last video I got on all of the Thrash and Supply Apex floorboards, all in chrome. Look at that. Chrome shifter lever, inner shifter lever, that piece, which I don't know what's called. It's like a spacer bushing in between. That's chrome. I finally got the P54 brake pedal. Everything is in chrome. Got to get rid of these bars for our trip. And guess what? You know I had the bar, which is right there. Finally, I got the risers. Huge shout out to Thrashin'. This, oh my God, these parts, guys, absolutely amazing. Made in the good old USA, baby. Got an American flag right there. Beautiful machining, beautiful chrome finish. Got the Thrashin' logo right there. Looks awesome. So first things first, as I'm gathering tools, make sure if you're doing this, because you're gonna have to set the bar down and stuff like that. I don't believe you're gonna be able to take this off. I'm really not sure. Gonna have to check it out, but we're gonna undo these two bolts on both sides and see if they're going to come off, slide off. I don't know, I'm not sure. This is all new because it's a 2024. This is the first time I'm doing this on a new bike, but make sure you got the tank covered, throw down a tarp, and yeah, let me grab some tools. I'm gonna start taking everything off. Nice, huh?
Made in the USA. Made in America, actually. Made in America.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Cool.
I just told him that I love that because it's got the American flag and it says Made in America.
Very cool.
Really nice products, no?
You know what? What this is on the back? You know what these are?
No.
So you can actually relocate.
Oh, the digital.
Digitally
Yeah,
relocate.
yeah. I got you.
Not for your bike because you don't need
Right.
it. But.
So check this out. I just noticed this. I just took out the two bolts. Look, this whole thing comes off. Look how friggin' simple.
Oh wow.
Look how nice.
That's why everything is plug and play with.
Isn't that awesome? Huh?
Understand that even the power for the heated gear,
Heated grips. Let's
it's
see.
like all from here.
No, it's somewhere over here. It's somewhere in the cluster right there, inside. That's pretty cool, right?
Yep.
All right, where are you going, Harley Davidson?
Harley Davidson to pick up some rain.
He needs some rain gear for the long trip. Yeah, buddy.
I don't want to need wet
Make sure you got your boot gaiters because I'm keeping the ones you gave me.
Did you actually know where they are? You lost them.
No, I didn't know where they are. I found them, but I didn't. The time when you needed them right away, I didn't know where they are.
No, but now you know where they are. You have them.
Yes,
So,
yes.
Okay, good. So I'm gonna get them as well.
All right, see you, buddy. Say goodbye, Sandy.
Goodbye, Sandy.
All right, Sandy boy left, and this is how easy it is. The wire that goes inside the bar, it actually has a clip, and you just unplug it from right there, and then you just drop it down. That's why I said make sure the tank is covered. I'm gonna do the same thing with this side, and then we'll take off the covers off of the nacelle right here, and we'll pull the top clamp off, take the bars off, and then we'll take the risers out. Let me tell you, Harley Davidson definitely listened and definitely made this bar installation just crazy, crazy simple so far. Plugs here, right? And then you got the nacelle. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws, bolts, whatever you want to call them, holding the plastic. And then it clips open in two halves. You got to cut the wheel kind of one way, pull one out, cut the wheel the other way, pull the other side out. And now, as you guys can see, everything is open. So this way, when I take the bars out, I think I'm just gonna have to unplug it, but let me get to that now. All right, so after you take out the 4 clamp bolts, the bar is going to lay right there on the tank. You're gonna have 3 connections, 1, 2, 3 to disconnect. And now I'm just gonna pull the bar out with the wires. And there it is, laying on the carpet, everything all in one piece. I'll get to that later. So what I'm gonna do now is I have to figure out how to, I might have to look back at Thrashin's video. I got to get to the bottom because the bolts are coming up through the bottom holding this riser in. So I'm gonna have to take those 2 bolts out. We're gonna be swapping out the bushings and we're gonna be swapping out and putting the risers on. So that's next. All right, so what I did now was I actually moved the controls, put a towel on the fairing, moved them out of the way because the cables would be in the way. We're gonna have to unload this. I think they were saying this keeps the preload on the front. And what else? We're gonna have to take off the 3 pinch bolts, 1, 2, 3, and then this whole top triple tree is going to come right out. And that's when we're gonna put on the risers when it's off the bike, otherwise you can't get to it. So just so you guys know, I have the bike on a jack right now. Wheels not gonna go anywhere. You still have obviously the bottom triple tree holding the forks and stuff like that, so you don't have to be worried about that. Let me go ahead and do this and I'll show you guys how it looks. I unloosened the 1 bolt in the middle, took that out. I unloosened the 3 pinch bolts, okay, for the triple tree. So what I actually seen was the front forks. You see how low they got now? Because this triple tree is moving, and there we go. It came out. So now when I put this back in, that's why I'm gonna highly recommend, you definitely need to be doing this on a jack. Make sure the bike is upright. And then when I go put the triple tree back in, we're gonna have to lower the bike, so obviously everything comes back up so we can mount it exactly how it was before. But I'll kind of show you guys that. These are the 2 bolts that we have to take out right now, and we'll be able to take out this riser, and we'll put in the Thrashin risers, the 9.5-inch kickback risers. Okay, so got the stock riser out. Very simple. And now I have the new riser set up here. If you're wondering why I put the top clamp on, I'll tell you why. Because if you don't put the top clamp on and you go to put the risers on, it's gonna be really hard to tell if they're going to be perfectly aligned, if you know what I mean. If you install the top clamp, it's going to make sure that everything is plumb and perfect when you install the risers, so this way you won't have any issues putting the top clamp on or adjusting it later. Because once you put the triple tree back on, you're not gonna really be able to adjust anything. You'd have to take everything back off. So I would recommend putting this on. Now I'm gonna Loctite these bolts with some red and put on the risers onto the triple tree. All right, there it is. Look at that, it's on. So now I'm gonna slap this baby right on there. And so far, let me tell you, so far it's been really easy. I promise you I will let you know if I run into anything difficult, but so far so good. The risers, triple tree is back on. It's a little bit of a pain in the neck. You could do yourself. I would recommend, like I said, have it on a stand and put some kind of a chalk, whatever you have, a small box. I'm using a small box right there, just so the wheel doesn't slide out, because it will slide out and push that bearing out of its shaft. So just be careful about that. But it was actually super simple. And then you could play with the jack, either lower or raise it, depending on whatever you need. But this is back on now. Now I could put everything back together, and then I could work on removing the controls from the stock bars. We're gonna be putting them on to these beautiful chrome Thrashin mid-bend bars. Almost there, guys. All right, so now I bolted everything in, torqued everything down, top triple tree. And now I'm gonna take off the 4 bolts, because that kept my risers true. And now when I put the bars inside the housing and I put the top clamp back on, everything is gonna fit perfectly. All right, now you gotta unscrew the back cover, right? I'm gonna do the same thing to the other one. This one plug right here, you gotta unclip. This should pop off. Then I have to take the wires out of this bar and snake them through the new bars. All right, guys, got the controls onto the new bar. It's actually really simple. Even pulling the wires through this bar is just super simple. So I'm gonna get the bar on now and show you guys how it looks. All right, guys, I just powered up the bike. So plugged everything back in. I just wanna make sure everything is working, turn signals, make sure I plugged in everything in the right manner. So everything is working. Controls, yep, all good. Definitely double check your work. Well, okay, got it all wrapped up. The only thing I have to do, I didn't tighten down the top clamp yet because I want to adjust the bars, and I didn't adjust the hand controls yet, the clamps right here. This one I still have to pick up. I'm gonna do that right now. I'm gonna clean up all the tools. I am going to drop the bike down so this way I can sit on it. I'm gonna keep a wrench on me. So as I'm sitting on it, I'm gonna put my hands on the bars and then I'm gonna adjust it very well. But let me tell you guys something, it already looks so good. It dropped it down, like I said, a little bit. You got the Thrashin logo right there. It looks freaking awesome in chrome, man. I am so happy I waited for the bars to be in chrome as well. A little bit, you know, the black controls, black grips. One thing I didn't do because I wasn't certain, this grip is also vulcanized down here. So I'm just gonna wait because I might want heated grips, and it's super easy to install. There's actually a plug right inside the housing. And if not, then I'll have to talk to the guys over at Thrashin, but then I'm gonna install those grips later down the road. But oh my God, I just love how it looks. Let me just clean this stuff up here so you guys can take a good look at it. Let me adjust it, and then we'll pull the bike out. So this way you guys, I'll put the camera on a tripod. This way you guys could see exactly how my arms are situated. Exactly, does it pull me back? Does it bring me forward? I want you guys to see how my body is situated on the bike. And then we'll get a close-up in the sun of how awesome this looks. All right, it's about 7 a.m. So after I put on the handlebars, I'm gonna show you guys in a second, my quad lock clamp that goes around the bars. Because the way the bars are shaped, there's literally no way I could mount the quad lock for the phone to be facing straight at me. It's gonna be like on a massive angle. I don't want that. And there's no room to mount the clamp on the bar, on the Thrashin bar. Not Thrashin's fault, it's just, it just doesn't come out straight. The phone will not be facing straight at me, meaning the phone is gonna be like literally on a really heavy angle towards my eyes, my visibility. I don't want that. So what I'm doing now, I'm going to Home Depot early in the morning, and I'll show you guys. I think I might have a solution, but I hope I could find the right bolt and the right fastener, and I think we could make something work to where the quad lock mounting system is straight at me. So let's see what we can find. So here's my idea. This is the ARP bolt from the Top Tree. What I'm thinking about doing is, this rod is the same size. I want to put this rod through the top clamp into the riser, and then drill a hole through the quad lock mount, and then bolt this on, bolt the top clamp on, and then put the quad lock mount on top of that, and then bolt the quad lock mount, and then cut that even. May not look so finished. Maybe I could finish it off with something. I'll have to figure that out, but I think this is going to be the best way to mount my quad lock. Back home in the garage, and it's already a steamy, humid 83 outside. I got the door closed, AC on. Bars are looking, oh my God, so good. I sat on it already. But stay tuned, stay with me, because I promised you guys I will take it out so you guys could see how I look sitting on the bike, how my arms are situated and all that good stuff, and we'll go over that. But this is the problem with the quad lock. Not that the quad lock's the problem. The problem is the way that the clamp is situated. If you could see, it's actually, you can't direct it that way. You can't turn the quad lock that way because the clamp is, you know, mounted right on the bar. So even over here, because it's swept back, the phone's gonna kind of be facing this way and not straight at me. So there's no room over here because of the bend. There's nowhere I can mount this. So that's the issue that I'm having. So what I figured is I took out one of the bolts. I'm going to put some thread locker on this threaded rod. So I'm screwing that in, right? So I'll tighten that down. So then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run this nut all the way down, and then I'm going to drill a hole through the quad lock right there. And then I'm gonna put that onto the rod, and then I'm gonna put another washer and a nut on top of the quad lock. Yeah, you're gonna see the nut, but I may actually have a chrome cap for that. So that's an easy fix. But then the quad lock is gonna be situated straight at me perfectly, just like that. That's how I want it. So that's what I'm gonna do now. I'll let you guys, I'll show you guys when I'm all done with it, but that's my idea. If you guys have any other idea, I do use the quad lock system. I do not want to change because it's on, you know, all my bikes. It's on in the car. I just feel, you know, the locking mechanism is the best, and that's what I run. So I don't want to change systems. This locking mechanism on the quad lock system, the phone does not go anywhere. Vibration damper. I got the wireless charger. Everything's there. So I do not want to, I don't want to change it, you know, and also this is another thing. I want it to look clean. So can I go with maybe something like this, like a ram mount system where I have more play? Yeah, I can, but it's just not going to look good. Like this bracket is nice and chrome, and when I put it on there like that, you see how nice and clean that's going to look? So, you know, I'm all about, yes, it's got to function, it's got to work, but I want it to look good. I just don't want a big ram mount sticking out, and I just don't want that. So let me show you guys how it works out. All right, so I drilled my hole onto quad lock mounting bracket. Then I'm gonna put it like that. I'm gonna run a nut and washer down on top of that, and that is gonna be good to go. All right, so it's almost like I made a stud right there. I cut the rod down, I got the nut on there. I'm gonna tighten the nut down, and I'll put the bracket on. All right, guys, let me pull this bad boy out. Bad boy. Oh my goodness, it feels so good. This I'm gonna tell you, if I could find neutral. There we go. I'm gonna have to say this feels much more comfortable, even much more comfortable than Mad Max did. And I'm not even joking. Look at this. 9.5-inch kickback Thrashin riser, mid-bend chrome Thrashin bar. Oh my God. So before, I think my arms were like that. Hopefully you guys could see that. My arms, I think, were about that, because I think we dropped it just about 3 inches. And now they're here. Not only were they higher, those bars were, I'm gonna say, about 2.5 inches wider. So having my arms a little bit closer. Also, I have a little bit closer and a little bit lower. I could feel immediately it's not going to be bothering my shoulders, just like on Mad Max. If you remember that T-bar and riser setup, it didn't hurt my shoulders. But the minute you go too high, my shoulders started to bother me. So, oh my God, this setup is just so dope, so comfortable on this bike. And let me tell you, as you guys just seen, the installation on this new model is super, super simple. If you're mechanically inclined and you work on your bike, it literally will probably take you, I'm gonna say an hour and a half, 2 hours tops, tops. It's not gonna take you any longer than that. There is no, you don't have to take out the wires out of the plugs, nothing. Everything fits perfectly in this Thrashin bar. They made the holes large enough so the plugs go through. I didn't even need a snake or run a chain down the bar to actually tape it and pull it through. I literally took the wires and just pushed them through and they came out. That's how easy it is. I just honestly can't believe it because bar installations on the previous models were tougher. You had a lot of wires going through, narrow channel. Depending on what bars you had, you know, it would be tough. You would have to take out the pins out of the connectors, put them back in. This one, you don't have to do anything. It's super, super, super simple. I can't say it enough. So I adjusted everything. The only thing I'm gonna have to adjust are my mirrors when I'm on the road because I did not ride the bike yet. This is kind of a, you know, first video that I'm giving you guys, but the positioning of the bars, the height, everything is just phenomenal. I'm 6'2" tall. I could see the screen perfectly. So I'll say right now, this is probably the highest rise you could go without it blocking the screen. Now, if you're a little shorter, if you're like 5'8", I don't know, the riser, the top clamp is probably going to be hitting or blocking your visibility to the screen. So keep that in mind, okay? This is a 9.5 inch rise. So if you're a little bit shorter, like I said, maybe 5'6", 5'5", something like that, 9.5 inches is gonna be blocking it. I'm gonna say if you're about maybe 5'10", 5'11 plus, you will have no problems with the 9.5 inch kickback riser. Or you could go I think it's the 6 or the 6.5 inch. I think it's the 6 inch rise, and then just go with the high bend bar. So what I do as I'm riding the motorcycle and you know, I see something nice, I want to record, or I want to record myself, or I want to record the guys on their bikes, I'll just grab it, unhook it, turn the camera on, and now I'm recording. And then when I want to put it away, I just put it back on, lock it on, and it's done. I don't have to fumble with it. That's the main thing, because you don't want to be fumbling with something, especially if you got to go grab a handful of brake. You want to be able to just boom, click it off, put it back on, you're done. So that's the setup I'm going to be rocking. It's nice and clean. It doesn't stick out as far as the other setup that I had before, so I really like this setup better. So anyway, guys, that's it with this video, because it is it's in the high 90s already, and it's crazy hot, crazy humid. Like I said, 2 weeks. Make sure if you can come by to one of those dealer stops that I'm doing. All of the links that I've used is going to be down below in the video description. Also, all of the information. There's going to be links to the days, not links, but I'm going to have the information for the stops. I'm also going to have a link for you for homecoming, because not only are we going to have a massive meet and greet over there with a whole bunch of other awesome YouTube and content creators, but there's going to be music. You got the Harley Davidson Museum. You have, Harley Davidson, the original plan on Juno. It's just amazing over there. And then you have all the concerts, and it's just going to be a great time. So I'm sure a lot of you guys are going, but if you guys haven't got your tickets yet, there also will be a link down below in the video description. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them down below, and I'll try to answer as best as I can. Love you guys, and see you guys on the next one. I'll probably have a couple more videos coming up, but then we're probably going to go radio silent. Other than as far as videos, we're going to go radio silent until I come back, because I'm not going to be doing any editing on the way. But I am going to be doing kind of almost like every day. I think I'm going to be doing a kind of a short video, 5 to 10 minute short video, how everything is, where we are, did anything happen, you know, how many miles we put on the bike, how the bikes are running, stuff like that. If you guys think you would like something like that, also let me know. All right, thanks for watching. Peace out. See you guys later.